Yes, I think we're live. All right, go live. Hello, friends. Happy Monday. Oh my gosh. Doesn't feel like it's Monday to me because my weekend was spent working. So it feels like just an eighth day of work in a row for me. And I'm a little tired. But I'll tell you a little bit more about that and share a story about a way I behaved that surprised even myself. And we'll see if anybody else can relate. Let's get this show started. Hi, friends. My name is Lynn Clementi Hicks. If it's your first time here, welcome. We have a lot of regulars who pop in and join in the chat. And if you're new, or if you're watching in the replay, feel free to leave a comment or chat in real time if you're watching now. But we are, we're going to be talking. I don't know. We'll see where today goes. Last week was a very fun one. We got a little silly, and I'll give you an update on our fostering journey. Me and my husband are working to become foster parents. Oh boy, we've got Laura here, Elliot, Marcus. Thanks, guys. Marcus, you are not new. I see your comment. You're being silly. I have to open my comments real quick so I can put them up on screen so you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm streaming live to Facebook and YouTube simultaneously. So if you're like, wait, I don't see those comments anywhere, it's probably because I'm pulling them from the platform you're not watching on. I'm a little loopy. Loopy's fair, Elliot, and I'm glad that you like that version of me. It's definitely better than the version I'm going to tell you about in a little bit. It was a little dark, Lynn. Okay. Almost got the comments. Let's view this. Pull it up. Let's see if this is... We are working. We're rocking and rolling here. So welcome. I hope you had a great weekend. If you were in Chicago, there was a ton of music going on this weekend. Festivals galore. We are at the peak of Chicago summer, which means there's always something to do on the weekends. And it's always interesting. I work for Chicago Sport and Social Club, and we hosted Bollywood this weekend. Now, Bollywood forever has always been just on Saturday. This year was the first year we actually made it a 2-day event. So it's a little bit of an experiment. No idea, no way to predict how people would, treat the Sunday experience. On Sunday, so to tell you a little bit about this event, it is a volleyball tournament, but it is also a music festival, more in the EDM music genre, which is not the kind of music I typically listen to, but I did a little bit of homework for this one, and I did listen to the headliners ahead of time, and they're not bad. It's good music to listen to while you're working. It's just, not something I would put on at home all the time. Oh, Marcus, loopy means like if you're so tired that you're kind of like silly. That would be the best way. It doesn't mean blue. No, I'm not blue. I'm just kind of silly right now. But thanks for asking. Marcus is watching from Switzerland. I think I remember that right. We haven't talked about it in a long time now. I forgot. But Marcus is not new. Do not be fooled. He's being silly. He's being loopy. Yes, loopy is fun. Okay. So Bollywood is the tournament and then the party side. You have to have a separate ticket to get into the party. The tournament is, you sign up as a team. You compete with other teams at your level. That usually takes several hours, and people just love it. It's a great time. It's a good event. There's a lot of volleyball tournaments in Chicago, and this one is always a popular one. It's played on the beach. We're right on Lake Michigan. Now, if you've never been to Chicago, Lake Michigan is very big, okay? Like, sometimes I've met people in the past that have never been to Chicago, and they say, oh, can you see across the lake? Like, how big is it? Like, you, on a very, very clear day with binoculars, you might be able to see, like, to Indiana or Michigan. But no, if you didn't know any better, you might think it's a sea, or I don't think an ocean, but it is very, very large. So we have beaches. Go figure it. In Chicago, I know, in the Midwest, in the middle of the country. And we have a lot of beach space, a few different locations. We were at one of the more popular ones at North Avenue Beach. So my role has for the past few years been involved with the bars for the party side, and I have to. I've come on to taking a task to hiring all the bartenders and the bar backs, making sure that we have all the materials that we need and that the point of sale is ready to go. It's a lot of detailed work, and I love the challenge, but it comes with a lot of challenges. So I'm very glad it's over. I'm so tired. Working one day of Bollywood is usually rough. Usually we have to be on site at 6 a.m. and I usually don't get home until midnight, sometimes later. And I'm on my feet the entire day. There's not really time to sit down. It's a good workout. So this year, because we didn't have to take everything down on Saturday night like we normally do, we actually got to leave. I think I was out of there by 9 instead of midnight, maybe 8. No, it wasn't 8, it was 9. And then on Sunday, I got to sleep in a little bit and I didn't have to be on site till 7:30. So that was cool. But also we saw our ticket sales were not that great for Sunday. They weren't where we were expecting. Now, we had a lot of fog this weekend, a lot of... The conditions just were not like summer beach party like you would hope for. So ticket sales suffered a little bit, and I was asked to cut about half of my staff for Sunday. So all the bartenders and barbacks that I had lined up, I had to pick and choose which ones I was going to say, sorry, we don't need you anymore today. That was not fun. That was not fun at all to send those messages, and, that's probably money people were expecting to have. Managing, 50 part-time people that a lot of people I had never met before, that comes with its own challenge. Like I said, glad it's over. So now it's a lot of, spreadsheets and numbers and making sure that, everything lines up, and then putting out paychecks to 50 people fairly quickly. So, I think the things I want to talk about today is kind of related around this. I'm going to give you the foster update first, just in case that's what you're here for and you don't want to stick around for all this other, what's Lynn been up to drama. Not drama, but stories. So I think last week I might have told you how Bert and I had a chat that we were going to just put the whole fostering thing on hold for just a sec because I was so busy with work, and it wouldn't have been fair to start this whole process of, trying to welcome kids into our home while I didn't have any time to give them. Now that Bollywood's over, today I was able to take a deep breath. I sent an email to our licensing worker and I said, okay, I'm back from vacation. The busiest part of my summer has passed, and now we are ready. So she actually responded right away, which usually takes her a full day. And it's not bad news, but it's not good news. She said, I'm glad you're back, glad you're ready. But unfortunately, the 3 girls that I had mentioned to you before, I have no idea where, where they are in the system anymore. And it didn't, her email's a very short response, and it kind of seemed like that ship has sailed. Even though she had asked me to wait and contact her when I got back from Spain, apparently it was not actually a thing that she was actually, put on her to-do list. Which is okay, it is what it is. Social workers are super busy. Not social workers, licensing workers and DCFS workers and everything like that. So I get it. So we will wait. I actually did get a call last week, but it was just for one kid. They were asking for placement, and I said, we're really just waiting for, we set up our house for siblings. So we are set on waiting to get the call for siblings so that we can place them together and be that home for them so they don't get split up. So I declined the single child that they had called about. But good to know that, we're still in the system. They're still calling. I think that was our 6th or 7th call that we've received overall. And all the other calls we pretty much just said, it wasn't good timing because I was about to leave for Spain. Okay, but, now we're closer. We're closer. We're ready. When we get the call, it'll be time. But those 3 sisters I had previously mentioned, probably not going to happen. So there's the foster update. All right, now, I put in the description of this video today that I surprised myself, and I think I titled it, Who Are We Really? Now, tell me if you can relate to this, something along the same lines, right? and I think I've touched on this topic a little bit. It's so fascinating to me how we play these different roles in our lives. Like we are different with our partner than we are with our parents or with our coworkers. Or even with some of our friends, or you're one person with one group of friends, but then you have friends, like old friends from college or high school or childhood, and you're completely different around them, right? Or maybe you have had customer service, experience in your life where you've been at the receiving end of angry customers and stuff, and now you don't want to talk to other people when you need customer service, and so you have a different tone with interacting with customer service people, right? Maybe like me, I had to manage 50 brand new people, or not brand new, but like a lot of new faces that I don't work with on a regular basis at all, in one weekend, and had to not only be someone that they should feel like they can trust me and come to me if there's an issue or needed help, but also I had to say, hey, I need you to do that differently because you're not doing it the way that I asked you to. So I have to, play both of those roles at the same time. And the way that I talk is not how I'm talking to you right now. It's a little bit more stern, or, when I'm trying to, show them I'm also fun, not just, here to like, you're not pouring enough ice into that cup first, or, hey, you need to be, I got some people, okay, guys, we pre-batched, you're going to be sad you missed the party when I tell you this. We pre-batched our vodka lemonade, so all they had to do was pour it from a spout, right? It was already mixed. It was ready to go. I don't know what gave them the impression that that was the case, but they were taking the vodka bottle separate, pouring it into the cup, and then putting the pre-batched, which means it already had the vodka in it, into that on top. I caught them, but it was like already halfway through the day. And I'm like, hold on, have you been serving those all day long? And they're like, they knew they were in trouble, or they knew they shouldn't have done it, and they didn't want to admit it, but there was no backing out because I just caught them doing it. Like, just be honest with me, because let's just fix this. Oh my God, guys. So yeah, a lot of people were served, I guess what, like, drinks with doubles. Yeah. So that was a moment, where I had to be like, look, enough of that. No, please stop. There's a price per drink that we've budgeted, and you're kind of messing that up a little bit. Anyway, there was a lot of, just constant, hey, I need help with this or that or whatever. And at the end of the night, I have to, make sure that all the cash is turned in. And a lot of new faces, they don't know each other, there's a lot of like, is everyone else honest? Kind of questioning if they've been dishonest, then they might not trust other people. But what it comes down to is these tips, right? They're collecting tips and we're pooling them, and then we distribute them, across the barbacks and the bartenders. Sorry, this might be boring. I'm sorry if it is. And they they're supposed to turn them all in, and then we issue them their money within 2 weeks. Now, someone had seen one of the other bartenders take the tips and put it into, basically she has like a box she's supposed to be putting these like tear off tabs, that that the customers redeem for a drink, and she was putting cash tips into her drawer, which she's not supposed to do. She's supposed to put in the common, tip bucket. So it started making the other bartenders nervous. And I went over, I'm like, hey, what are you doing? But then she was mad at me for like accusing her of something. I'm like, look, I'm just trying to do this so that, everyone else is feeling more comfortable working with you. Oh, guys, it is tough to do that when EDM music is like, let the beat drop. Anyway, super loud, and you're trying not to scream at them. You have to yell so they can hear you. It's tough. So my voice is a little hoarse. Yeah. But I'm going to get to this story now of actually where I surprised myself. Then, yeah, this is an interesting segue, Marcus. It takes a lot until I get angry, but if I really am. So I had to go to the grocery store last week to pick up some of the supplies for the drinks. Now, if you've been watching my live stream for about a year, you know that not once but twice, my back window has been shattered on my car. One time stuff was stolen, and then another time nothing was taken out. They just broke the window. And this is really frustrating because then I have to pay insurance $500 to get that fixed each time. And it really sucks. So I come out from the grocery store and I've got my cart and it's got my 2 canisters of, lemonade mix. And I see a guy looking into my car in the back seat window. And I go, "What are you doing by my car?" And he's like scared. And he goes, "I'm confused. I'm just confused." Oh, and I'm like, "Oh yeah? Show me your car that looks just like my car right now. That's in this parking lot. Your car that looks like my car." And he was like, he knew he was caught, and I'm pretty sure he was about to break my window because there was a ton of stuff in the back for the events, I was in the grocery store, guys, for like 5 minutes, and this happened. And the guy, he's like scared, and he starts like walking away. Guys, I had my cart. I started going after him, and I was yelling at him the whole time. I was a mad woman. I was like taking all that anger from my window being broken 2 times previously and unleashing it on this guy. And he is like walking fast, and he is like just like looking over his shoulder, and he's like nicely dressed and everything. He's just trying to get out of there as fast as he can because he knows he was caught. I'm like, "I'm calling the police." What I wanted to do really is take his picture and then I don't know, put it out there so that people know that this guy is no good. He is a window breaker. We have to stop these people. I'm like, "Do you know how much it costs good people like me when people like you break windows?" Oh my God, guys, I was shaking. I saw like red. I wanted, like, I don't know if this is okay to say. I wouldn't have done it, but I wanted in that moment to hurt him because I was so angry. And he was just, hurriedly, terrified and walking away from me. What was I going to do? Chase him with my cart down the street until I got to him? What was I going to do? I was shaking. I got in my car. I had to take some deep breaths. I called Bert. I told him what happened just so that somebody could, try and, talk me down from the ledge. I was so... Oh my God, I've never liked that. Never liked that. And I surprised myself so bad because I never would have thought, oh, I would never react that way. Oh, if you think someone's looking in your car, you might think, I'd probably just wait or just scare them away and then get in my car and go. I don't know how you would think you would react to that, but I'm pretty sure if you're picturing how you would do it, rather than actually being in the moment, you wouldn't picture yourself chasing after someone in a grocery store parking lot with a cart screaming at them. Yeah. And Laura, 100%, it sounds dangerous because we don't know what that guy has in his pocket. Could be a weapon, could be get away from me, you crazy lady, I was being crazy, and he probably could have, I don't know. I think I out-crazied him, so I don't know if he actually would have done something, but yeah, it's dangerous. Could have done, yeah. Yeah, Marcus, 100%. People are unpredictable when in a corner. I think I was, yeah. I was definitely, yeah. I scared him, though. I scared him so much, because when I left the parking lot, I didn't go the way that I normally should have gone to go home. Instead, I went down the street that I saw him go down. I was looking for him. I wanted to see where he went, but he hid. He hid from me. Oh my God. Thank you guys. I'm so glad you were safe. Good thing he didn't have a weapon. Absolutely. You're right. But okay, so the point is, right? And I am thank you. And Laura, I didn't see this one. Sounds like you did great. It did feel good, hindsight, after I calmed down, to have that moment, okay, the good thing is he didn't break my window, and I'm not paying another deductible and waiting a week to get my car back. That's the good part of this, right? So I was able to calm down and recognize that. I'm not proud of how I responded to it, but the whole point of me sharing this story and kind of putting it out there. So, what's the word that we use that starts with V? I can't remember. I'm having a brain fart. I'm loopy. Vulnerable. I'm being so vulnerable, telling you how crazy I was. To say, we just don't know how we're going to act in some situations. I talk about Hidden Brain, the podcast sometimes. There's actually a really good episode, and I like listening to this one a lot, where they have a whole bunch of people sharing stories where they never would have pictured they would react they did in certain situations. Just sharing their story about that. And I don't know. I'm sharing it here just in case you ever have a moment where you surprise yourself by how you react with something. And I don't know, just have somebody you can call that can get you back to back to center. Yeah. Imagine if he was totally innocent. No, he was not totally innocent. 100% he was not totally innocent. No. Mm-mm. This guy, I still had his, because he was looking in my car like this. Like, I still had his arm prints on my window the next morning when I went to go put stuff in my car. He was definitely looking in there for stuff. Yeah. LOL, Marcus, indeed. Yeah, and then, exactly, and I would have had to pay again I would have had to go do all those errands again if he stole something. The side he was looking in, and if he would have chosen to break that side, was not the side closest to my backpack, which had my laptop, and that would have been, ever since my window's been broken twice, I now don't leave my backpack in my car anymore. And yes, like that, not yesterday, but last week, I was like, I just have to run in for 5 minutes and get my lemonade. I left my bag in there. Oh my gosh, guys, it only takes a few minutes. Be careful if you come to Chicago. That's the moral. Okay, guys. So that is tell me if you have a relatable story. If you don't mind sharing. There's no judgment here, obviously, because I don't know. I just told you I'm a crazy lady. And also I don't think that you think any differently of me now because I had that moment, right? And maybe that's I guess maybe moral of the story is, sometimes people have these moments and that is not who they are all the time. Maybe it is, but also if you experience someone that you normally, get along with and they have this, one blow up that causes you to change your perception of them. I don't know. It's just, keep it in mind, like maybe it's just a one-off thing. This has kind of come up with me a few times, people are like, oh, that person did this that one time. And I'm like, okay, but did they do it again? Is that how they always are? Or was that like a one-time thing and we shouldn't judge people based on their one-time thing? So thank you, Amy. Yeah, we all have a breaking point, in my opinion. 100%. I think so. I think we do. And I think it's triggered, right? That guy looking in my car and me having my window broken 2 times, that was very, very, very triggering. That was my breaking point, 100%. I think otherwise I'm a very reasonable person, I think. And loopy. So, I don't know if anyone's noticed, but Mom and Dad are not commenting today. That's because they're not watching live. So, we can play with the parents' way. Though they already told me they're going to watch the replay later, so we can't, I guess. It's going to be recorded. They're going to see it anyway. They are attending a reception for a daughter of one of their friends that's apparently right by my house somewhere. And my mom's like, you're not invited, but we're going to be right by your house. I'm like, thanks, Mom. Thanks for telling me that I'm not invited. She called me a brat for saying that. And then she's like, I was just trying to get an invite to come over. And I'm like, Mom, I have a live stream. She's like, can I be on the live stream? She's crazy today. Like, she would never say that. I think she was being silly with her friends because they were in the background. Yeah. Yeah. Laura's saying, yes, I have yelled at people when threatened. And that was a threat. This was a threat. Yeah. That's good. We have to have those moments where we have to stand our ground, right? It's scary. I don't know. It's scary. It's scarier now. I feel like it's scarier now than it used to be because people can have guns now, right? Like, I don't feel like concealed weapons were a thing years ago when, growing up and stuff. And now you just don't know if someone's carrying something and, I don't know, what's their breaking point and like what happens then, So there was a story of a guy maybe a couple months ago in Chicago and, guy jumped out of a car and was waiting for him, on the corner. And the guy comes up and he says, hey, give me your phone. And the guy said, no, I'm not giving you my phone. And so they started fighting. Like, he didn't give up his phone. And so then the other guy who was driving the car came out and had a gun. And the gun apparently went off and shot the guy who wouldn't give up his phone. And I think he made it. But that's crazy. That's the thing is, like, you just don't know anymore. Like, in those moments, those guys probably never wanted to use their gun on anyone, but then I don't know. I'm not saying anyone, I'm not taking sides here or anything, but like, that's the thing. You just don't know. I guess I didn't know either. It's not fair. It's not fair because, just because you have a gun doesn't give you the right to do whatever you want. And it's what it feels like when situations like this happen. I mean, if that guy looking in my car had a gun, I might have been, not here today. I don't know. Yeah. Getting a car broken into is really no good. It's not. And it's not, and I know that my car was broken with, something that they knew, like some sort of a tool or a hammer or something, that they knew broke glass, like hitting those things that, I don't think you can just do it with a normal hammer. I think that you have to use something else. I don't know. There was something on, do you guys remember that show? What was it? They were like trying to prove things. Maybe that was, never mind. I'm going to just erase that part. We'll cut that out later. Yeah, right. I don't do editing. Okay. Yeah. 2 mass shootings within 10 miles of you in Indianapolis. I did not hear about this, Laura. I didn't hear about that. Was that recent? Because there was the one that I talked about on July 4th 2 weeks ago. That happened right by us. Oh my gosh, yesterday. Jeez. What is happening? And I didn't hear about those ones yet. Usually with the mass shootings, they're all over the news for everyone to hear. I don't know. At some point, I don't know if they stop sharing them to like stop giving people the idea to do them. I don't know what happens. Yeah, Mythbusters. Thank you. Elliot, you knew exactly what I was talking about. Thank you, Mythbusters. Yeah, they had an episode where they were showing how they break car windows. But I think they were showing how to break car windows underwater. But I don't remember the episode exactly. But I just remember it was like a little tool that they had. It was like a thing and like something like hits the glass really hard, fast. Anyway. 4 at the mall and a park shooting. Yeah, and that's some of these, because there was like a big fight at the beach. Here I am telling you guys, go to the beach, go to the party and stuff. There was this flash party, like, I don't know, on the social media, they can make these things happen really fast. All these people came to the beach. It was like 9 at night. And apparently it just started as these girls had like boxing gloves on and they were like fighting each other. And then all of a sudden it kind of like expanded and then a whole bunch of people were fighting. And then some gunshots went off and it's like, what the heck? And then everyone started fleeing the beach. They had to clear our leagues and everything. And it's like, why? Why do we have to be carrying guns? Can't we just fight with our hands? I don't know. Yeah, tempered glass is hard to break. There it is. Amy, thank you. Yes. Okay. Road rage is super scary. So, yes, it is. And I have been at the the receiving end of somebody just going ballistic, and I don't know. I yelled at a guy I laid on my horn because he was trying to merge into my car, and I'm like, what the heck, guy? You're in the wrong lane. You're not supposed to be merging. So I used my horn, right? Like, hey, excuse me. And no. And so he pulled up next to me at the stoplight, and he's like screaming at me. He's like, what's the matter with you? And I'm like, you can't merge there. And I'm like, fine, I'll tell you what was the matter. Why I honked at you. You were merging into a lane where you shouldn't have been. You were in a lane you were supposed to turn right, and you decided to instead come into my lane. Anyway, I explained it to him, like, the lane you were in was not a lane to go straight. And he goes, but did you die? And I'm like, no one's dead, but that doesn't mean I can't use my horn to tell you you're doing something wrong. Anyway, yeah, road rage is so dumb. It's so dumb. Because we could be yelling at someone that could probably be like good friend, like someone that we'd get along with in the real world, but driving makes us a little crazy sometimes. Yeah. Okay, Marcus knows, yes, there's the special hammers in the bus for emergency exit. They would do it, yeah. I think that there's there's something special about them that does it. I think it has to be like a really, that was not a great motion to do on YouTube. Sorry, guys. Find, like a really fine tip to break it, and it has to be like hard and fast. Oh my God, Lynn. Ugh. Mark this one as an X-rated episode. Yeah. I don't know the movie Falling Down, or maybe I do, but I don't remember. I'll look that one up. Making a note of it right now, Marcus. Getting my pencil out. Watch Falling Down. Okay. So that's where I'm at, guys. Oh, Laura's got one in her car. My husband got us one for our cars just in case you need to break a window. That's super smart. Super smart. Love it. Love it. Pointy. Pointy. Exactly. That's the word I'm looking for. But, I'm using gestures instead because that's way more fun. So let's check in with you guys. What's going on? Who's got an update? Laura R came to, it is Laura R, I'm pretty sure. You came to Chicago. I think I'm matching up Facebook and YouTube profiles properly. Laura came and visited Chicago. I had given her a bunch of recommendations and saw she did a whole bunch of cool Chicago stuff, which is awesome. And I don't know if you guys heard, but recently Chicago was voted the #2 city to visit in the whole world. That was what the headline said. I don't know what that means, and I don't know if it's a joke, because we are the second. Also, like, our nickname of Chicago is the second city. So that's what came to my mind when I read that. I'm like, I wonder if this is a joke. Yeah. Robinson. Okay. Laura, sorry. I put an N in there. But yeah, Laura, or maybe I didn't. I think I said Laura R. But yeah, it's really cool that, I don't know. Like, I love that, this channel has brought us together. Like, I talk, you guys comment, and somehow we're a community because of it. I'm very smiley today. I'm like, my cheeks are going to hurt after this one. Okay. So, you guys have any stories of being out of character? Anything that comes to mind? I know I'm putting you on the spot thinking about this, especially because I just had a recent experience, so I could share it. But if you can think back, you're like, wow, that one time it's not my proudest moment, like things like that where, ooh, that's not what I meant to do. Yeah. So Laura is recommending Chicago. It was amazing. Would totally recommend to anyone. When I told some people that's where we were, they were like, why Chicago? And now I'm like, why not? It's just perfect. Yeah, exactly. Chicago does have a reputation, and it's, first of all, a very old reputation with, like, mobsters and stuff, I think is the one I've heard a lot about. And they do mobster, like, tours. You can actually do a tour and see, like, where Al Capone was and where things went down and all that kind of stuff. But, now it's like, oh, Chicago's known for gangs and, like, some of these, like, Chicago, PD and Chicago whatever the other shows are, kind of give you an impression like, oh, Chicago's always got a lot of crime and, people getting hurt and stuff like that. Elliot, he's saying Timeout named it #2, and there's also a Timeout Food Mart here. Coincidence? Yeah. Actually, Timeout was bought by a New York company. Aren't we second city to New York? Oh my God. It is probably Timeout's calling us #2. That would make sense, Elliot. Coincidence? I think not. Elliot, I know I owe you an answer about bingo on the 27th. I'm pretty sure that we can do it for you. I'm out of practice, but I think that might add to the entertainment of it. Hey, maybe we'll do a practice run of bingo next Monday. Wait, that would be the day before. Oh, that might work. You guys want to play bingo on Monday? Yeah. We'll see. Laura has a story. We fostered a 1-week puppy for 5 weeks, and he went to Wounded Warrior Project last Friday, and we were very sad but happy he was going to a great purpose. This week we are fostering a new puppy. And then the rest of your... Oh, and I've struggled with patience with him because he's so different from our first and screams all the time. Oh. Aw. Bert and I have fostered cats in the past, and we still always, like, remember them and, like, their different personalities. And yeah, fostering dogs, I can imagine too, different personalities, and you kind of get attached to some more than others. So that's really cool, though, that it went to Wounded Warrior. Bert's a donor. He donates to Wounded Warrior, I'm pretty sure. I think monthly or annually. Yeah, great organization. Very cool. Thanks, Laura. Oh, and that's not like me. I just want to give him back now. Yeah, it's, sometimes when we're challenged to, I can totally relate to that. Like, we're challenged in a way that's super uncomfortable. It's like, oh, I just don't want to do this anymore. Is it really worth it? And I'm probably not nailing it exactly how you're feeling it, but that's, what I can picture, something along the same lines. It's like, like I love soccer and I'm super passionate, and I'm a co-director of the IWSL, and I make this schedule, and I'm working with these teams that like don't have any respect for like, hey, the schedule's been released, we're sticking to it. And then a team drops out and I'm like, I spent hours on that schedule. And it makes me so angry, and I don't want to do it anymore, even though I love soccer and I love, being part of this. And it makes me want to quit, and that's very unlike me. So I totally understand, I think. Anyway, I hear Bert coming home from the grocery. He was out. I don't know if he's been listening this whole time, but he's gonna help me relax tonight for the first time in like over a week, which would be really, really nice. So we're gonna have a nice dinner. Maybe I'll treat myself to a glass of wine and just try to decompress and reset for this week. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me today. Did anybody, I gave you a little homework last week. We were talking about my dad's band. That doesn't actually play out. They just play in the basement. And we were trying to encourage him to go out and play in public. Or at least I was going to come over and do a live stream from his basement, their studio. Sorry, Dad, I put your studio like this. It is about as much of a studio as my studio here. I don't know. He has a dedicated room that's his music studio. Anyway, we talked about I could go and live stream them, and because they do covers, and they're pretty good. But, sometimes we'll see if you guys can identify the songs. We'd kind of make a game out of it. Anyway, I gave you the homework of like, hey, if you have any ideas for a new name for their band. I think we were kind of throwing around some things last week. If you came up with anything new, let me know in the chat or the comments if you're watching the replay. And who knows, maybe that will be something that comes to fruition. A live stream of my dad's cover band, or my dad's band that does covers, which has been also named Run for Cover because that's the quality of their cover band. But they have fun, and that's what's the most important. And I'm also being a little harsh. They're actually not that bad. I've dug myself a hole I can't get out of at this point. Anyway, I hope you had a good time today. I'm going to sign off. Thanks for hanging out with me. And guys, I am less than 250 people away from having 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, which would be really cool to hit this year. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do on YouTube. Tell your friends, to come hang out on Mondays, or at least just to subscribe. We'll keep getting there, and I'll continue to share our story about how we are hopefully going to become foster parents, and then also all the other things that go on in my brain. All right. What is the unofficial name of the band again? I'm pretty sure it's currently Run for Cover. It in the past was the Singing Fisherman, and we were playing with that. So I don't know. It's one of those two. But I think Run for Cover is pretty funny. Okay, last story. So after Bollywood, I think maybe this was last night. I don't remember. The past 36 hours have been a blur to me. Past 72 hours have been a blur to me. I think I was telling Brad, I'm like, I want to make a festival. How cool would it be to be the original founder of a festival? Okay, maybe to you guys that doesn't, you don't care who founds a festival, but to me, this is maybe a new dream. You think it would be really cool to make a new festival. He's like, well, what kind of music would you do? Because there's basically a festival for everything already. I'll go, thought about it. Really thought about it. I think I'm going to make it all cover bands, but they're really good cover bands. So it's almost like you're seeing the real thing. But what we'll do is we'll make the tickets only $10. And then you get to, see all these bands. But because they're cover bands, they won't be as expensive. So we can have lower ticket price, but have just as much fun. And we'll make all of our money on the beer sales. And since I know how to run bars at a festival, we're set. So anyway, let me know. Would you guys go to a cover band festival? I will take your honest opinion. If you're like, Lynn, that does not sound appealing, I would never do that. That's fine. And you might be like, but what genre of cover bands? We would hit them all, guys. We would hit all of them. We would have to hit them all. We'd have multiple stages, of course. Sounds like a lot of work. Heck yeah, it is. But that's what I just got through the past few days. And it wouldn't just be me. I would just be the leader. And I would just be like, you're organizing this part. You do that part, I just have the vision. I get all the other people to do it. I'd make a budget. I'm really good at spreadsheets. I would make a budget on a spreadsheet. Easy. I cracked myself up. Okay. Not that one, the inappropriate. Oh, he was, no, I think it was like their, I don't know if it was the name of their band, but it was like their, it's like how they, like their subtitle almost. It was something like, we just, something about a beat off. Like, we're just a beat off or something like that. Marcus. That's what it was. It was like really inappropriate. My mom was like, I can't believe you said that on there. But it's hilarious. It is funny. Okay, Bert's confirmed. He is here. So I'm going to sign off for reals. Let me know. All right, no one's commented on my cover band festival yet. It's okay. We can talk about it next week. We'll see. We'll see if it happens. I'll work on my budget. All right, guys. Have an awesome rest of your week. I'll see you next Monday, 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm going to have some dinner, glass of wine, and take it easy. I'll see you then. Okay, bye.